Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mofi and today we're not doing a week in my life or a campus tour, which was really fun by the way. I really enjoyed that and I'm still exploring campus. Today we are talking about why I think you should take a gap year. 7 reasons to be precise. And I took a gap year and that was the best academic decision I've ever made. And I really haven't reflected on it properly. I reflected on certain feelings that I think were a result of taking my gap year, but I haven't, done a full, how was your gap year? What did you learn? What did you like? And I hope that these kind of videos are going to help me do that. So without further ado, let's get into point number 1. I made little post-it notes to make sure I don't forget. The first reason why I think you should take a gap year is because of the personal growth that will happen to you during that year. The personal growth that happened to me, whoa. I am not the same person I was at the start of my gap year compared to the end of it. And there are so many reasons why. Through experiences, through reflection time, and through really and truly figuring out who I want to be moving forward, the type of people I want to be around, the type of impact I want to make, and the type of opportunities I want to say yes to, and the type of opportunities I'm not afraid to say no to. This year really gave me an opportunity to think it all through. And if you just go back to what sixth form was like, you know how everyone says that those 2 years are more chaotic than university? They are. It's so much content in such a short amount of time that when you start university and you realise you've got all this free time to manage yourself, or at least that I'm noticing, let me not speak on everyone's behalf because I know some flatmates are like, this is intense, but I think for the majority it's true. And it's funny because at the start of year 12 we went through COVID and me and my blabbermouth went and told my parents, oh, I don't understand why A-levels is across 2 years. If they structured it properly, this could be a 1-year gig. Whenever I went to complain about it being too much, the first thing you hear is, but I thought you said you could do it in 1 year. I really wish I shut up back then. But it's so much, and the time that you have to yourself, the time that you have to properly make decisions, it's not there. You start and you get through the content and then it's, okay, what university are you applying to? What course are you taking? Okay, your personal statement. Okay, interview practice. Okay, back to getting the grades. And then you have this summer where all you want to do is go crazy and relax and eat, go on holiday and do nothing. And that holiday finishes before you know it and you start university. So there's not time for you to reflect, for you to breathe and realize, oh my gosh, I've just done all of that and I'm about to open this new chapter of life. What do I want it to look like? My gap year allowed me to have a lot of those moments of this is what I want it to look like. Through conversations with people, through actually trying things, if that be in my internships or at events where I was volunteering, and through asking myself certain questions based on how I was seeing other people's lives play out. So that entire 12-month year for me enabled me to grow personally. I also think that the year allowed for me to take things at my own pace. And funnily enough, at school, definitely a teacher's pet. Oh, but do you know what? When COVID came and told us we weren't sitting exams, do you know who that benefited? Anyways, taking things at my own pace really allowed me to do things the way that I wanted to do. Personal growth, it's just, you have to do the year to understand it. And my experiences, like I said, with the internship and other things, but when people travel, when people go to new countries and make new friends, the growth, it's amazing. And I don't think within the constraints of school, you will reach the levels of growth that you can outside of the constraints of school. School's an amazing opportunity and an amazing experience. I'm an absolute education champion, but the year out of school, when you can actually even reflect on what you've learned from school, it's amazing, it's so cool. Okay, so that was reason number 1, personal growth. Okay, point number 2. So I think this is a real good one. We go to school and some of us are academics and we're able to get through our exams no problem, and without almost thinking about it, university's the next thing. But then there are some of us who do struggle and who are more suited for the apprenticeship route to start working and getting hands-on experience. And point 2 that I put down is career building. Lots of people go to work during their gap year, either to make money to go to university, or to make money for other reasons, to travel, etc. But they do enter the workforce. And I think it's an amazing opportunity to start working before you go to school. I'm going to be so real and tell you it's also really dangerous, because if you have a plan of going to university after your gap year to get a degree and start working, and during your gap year you start working without that degree and see all of the opportunities available that you could tap into without a degree, you've got to be really headstrong to make sure that you go to university at the end of it, and don't say, do you know what, don't need to go anymore, I'm just going to continue in this. Either's fine. I'm just saying, if that's what you want to do, you've got to be headstrong about it, because it's really tempting. The salaries that some of us are exposed to during our gap year are very complementary to that of a grad role, and the people that you meet, the network that you build, sometimes a gap year can set you up for life, but not for everyone. So please don't think it's like a golden ticket to getting out of university or an apprenticeship if that's what is next for you. Not for many people. But back on the career building aspect, as young people, so many people want to support us and open their doors and say, come in and work for me, come in and volunteer, come in and I will teach you. And I was really privileged to have that opportunity. I decided to intern at Wealthy Hair, which was a really wonderful female finance startup, and I was offered this internship I think a few months before my gap year started, and I said, no, I'm so sorry, I can't do it right now, because I was running my business and not in a position to leave things. We now have a team, etc., and we did as I was starting my gap year, which meant I could continue compounding my skills. That's how I saw it. And during my time at Wealthy Hair, I got to see how a startup ran, and it really opened my eyes to the fact that, okay, you're doing a good job with your business. Lots of comparison within my head. It made me think, okay, you know, this is a kick-ass woman leading this company who I massively respect and am massively inspired by, and she had a passion, she's turned that into her purpose, and she is helping other people. You want to do something similar, completely different industry, but the fact that you've seen it's possible, that really did strike a chord with me to say keep on going. The different people I got to meet at work events, the conversations, you know, it's always just so amazing to absorb the knowledge and wisdom of people. And I think just the small skills that, you know, sometimes you learn being at an internship, if that be writing emails, if that be onboarding people, if that be research, if that be event management, whatever it possibly is, you are quite literally dropped in the deep end and supported, of course, to gain these skills that people look for in a graduate. With working, there's obviously a salary involved, and I think that it's an amazing thing to make money and have financial freedom. I've been in such a privileged position when taking my gap year. I stayed at home. My parents were not kicking me out if they tried. My parents are pretty cool people. Like, they're my best friends. They're actually really chilled. And it's so funny I'm saying this now, because ask me that when I'm 10. That would not have been the answer. But really privileged, I stayed home and finances weren't an issue. But some people working and having that financial freedom and being able to, I don't know, rent a place or do things that they wouldn't usually be able to do because they didn't have the money is such an amazing feeling. And overall, I think just stepping out, seeing what roles actually mean as a young person was also incredible. From my opportunities at my internship, my network definitely expanded. As I said, meeting new people is always so much fun. I absolutely love it. But it also can spiral into other opportunities. Again, like I said, that temptation of a full-time role, because I knew the owner, she was like, no, we're not doing that. You're going to university. I'm not allowed to tempt you by offering you a role. And one of the reasons that I think if you just want to see what the workforce is like, you should definitely give it a go to get that opportunity and build your career portfolio and network. Okay, let's move on to point number 3. Explore. I didn't explore on my gap year. I stayed in London. I'm really content with that. Actually, I went up to Manchester for a short period of time, my second favourite city in the UK, and I enjoyed that exploration. But a lot of people go on gap years and leave the country and go interrailing and get internships abroad. And from what I've heard, they've had such amazing experiences and such pivotal moments where it changes their life, how they view the world. And I think that that's so powerful. explore. I think you can explore in so many ways. You can explore activities, you can explore different parts of the world, you can explore different opportunities, but exploring and almost that freedom to mess up whilst you're young, because you are young and you have time to improve, is an amazing feeling, and you don't get to explore that much when you're at university outside of what a university has to offer. What I would say with the exploring segment is, if you don't want to explore, that's fine. I hope that makes sense, because I didn't really want to explore. I had a plan and I stuck to it, and I still feel like I reaped so many benefits. But if you do want to kind of like put yourself out there and do absolutely everything, do it. Do it because you're young, do it because you can, do it because it's going to feel good. But exploring, it's so much fun. So just live your life and explore. Oh my gosh, I feel so passionate about that. Should I have gone traveling? Maybe I'll go traveling now. I didn't really want to leave my home back then. Point number 4. Independence. I think all the points so far are synonymous to independence, but technically you are 18. You are now an adult, and oh, the camera might die. No. Hit pause. Okay, we're back and we're on point number 4, independence. You are 18, you are legally an adult, you can make your own decisions. Because I think as an 18-year-old, we have so many perceptions of the world. We kind of feel like we've been cradled and looked after, and we're kind of just ready to spread our wings. And I think that it's such a beautiful moment where everyone around you is almost pushing you off the cliff safely to say, yeah, now you can fly. Now you've done the needful, live your life and explore. Because there's no responsibility, which I've brought up already, the independence that you have to do whatever you want is truly the independence to do whatever you want. You don't have, you know, bills to pay, you don't have children to look after. And again, this is just generally, you kind of just have yourself, and with that you can look after yourself and you can go and do things just thinking of yourself and, you know, those people around you. But I think that the independence that you are offered when taking a gap year is amazing. Okay, point number 5, culture exposure. This is a really good one. If you're traveling, you're really going to see what the world looks like. We live in a bubble. Oh my goodness. If you've grown up, especially like someone like me, if you've grown up and lived in the same area all your life, you live in a minuscule bubble. I have so many friends from different cultures, so many colleagues from different cultures, and it's so amazing hearing about it and learning some of it and even being a part of some of it. But in no way can that be compared to when you are in it. Oh my goodness. When I've been working, I understand what it's been like for my parents when they come back and they're exhausted. Work culture is something you don't understand until you're in it. I can tell you that for free. Then you have traditional culture of going to different countries and actually living in those different places. And I absolutely love watching Unjaded Jade, and I feel like she has so well described what it's been like when she was at Minerva University and traveling around everywhere. But just being able to breathe in the same air and being able to see people who, you know, are exactly like you, probably 18-year-olds, probably just finished their time at school, but who have such different perspectives and different ways of life. I think that it's so beautiful to connect with people across the world and to actually be a world citizen, and a gap year and traveling provides you that opportunity, and it provides you the opportunity to really immerse yourself in it because there's no time constraint. Again, this time that you have within your gap year is time you probably will not get again unless you're part of the few that are really lucky with their work schedule and their life schedule and all of the rest of it. You're probably not going to get those 12 months just to take off of your life ever again. And I don't think lots of people realize that, unless you know, maybe take off a gap year before you start your masters. But by then, you know, you're much older and there's almost a sense of responsibility for you to be caring for yourself and for you to be getting ready for the next thing. It's just a lot different. But that culture exposure, that is, oh my goodness, so amazing and so cool. And I think that's why people absolutely love to travel during their gap years, because the food you eat, the memories you make, it's just all so amazing. From what I've heard, like, absolutely amazing. This one says, not ready, need a minute. Plan B. I wasn't ready to start university immediately. I couldn't fathom going to university at the time. Because I just started my business and things were going really, really well. And I think that the thought of university to me at the time was closing that door. It was like saying, no, you must put everything on hold and you must go to university. The year allowed for me to build a team. It allowed for me to build infrastructure and foundations that mean that now whilst I'm at university and I'm working Tuesday to Thursday, it works. The world goes around. There are no, you know, crazy stories when I get back. There are no crazy failings. Everything is as it should be. And back when I'd just gotten my results, that wasn't the case. I was probably just about like bobbling my head above water, staying alive. And it was just so much responsibility. I wasn't ready. That was the truth of the matter. For some people, you might not be ready. And I think there are so many factors to consider, from family life to finances to knowing what you want to do next. But what I think is so important and so powerful is being honest and saying, I'm not ready, I need time. You can have it. There are so many programs in place to support young people, especially when making these decisions. So speaking up and saying, no, I need a minute, let me figure out what I want my life to look like. It's 12 months, and it might be more, it might be less, but it's 12 months that I could use to do that. Do it. That I had second thoughts, but if you're not ready and you need a minute, a gap year could be the perfect thing for you. The seventh and final, pursue your passion. Mic drop. I took a really big gamble by deciding to resit my exams. I did better than the first time, which was the plan. But I reset my exams because I didn't get the grades that I wanted to get into the university that I wanted. I also let that be my excuse for taking my gap year. The reason, which I think everyone now understands within my family and friends or whatever, or at least I've come to terms with it, the reason I wanted to take my gap year was to pursue things with Omanira and see where it goes. And I'm so glad I did. I met Josh. Oh my gosh, Josh, you've been my life. You've been amazing. Josh is the founder of the Generalist Company. Josh has taught me so much and I'm not afraid to be myself around him. Talk about, let's not use the word, we all hate it, but just for reference, imposter syndrome. Graduated from Oxford, has been working for X amount of time, joins my team and is like, you're amazing. And I'm like, what? You don't get to say that about me, but you do. And you've taught me so many amazing things and you uplift me and I feel like a better business owner, I feel like a better colleague. I feel like because I decided to pursue my passion and to give Omanira a go, everything fell into place. I met Michelle, my fiery, amazing project manager who tells me how it is and who always executes. Sophie, who's on my team. Oh my gosh. None of you are getting any of them, by the way, they're mine. I've been able to pursue what I love, and with that I've met people that I love and adore who have taught me so much, who I've taught so much, and who have been on this journey of learning with me. I have worked with so many children and impacted them just how I sought out to do and just how I wanted to create those things that we wish we had as children. I've met so many amazing women and men within the corporate world and outside. I've met my mentors. Oh my gosh, Caroline, George, Andy, I couldn't live without you. It's just been so amazing. I think I saved the best till last. My heart's going. If there's any reason why you should take a gap year, it's to pursue your passion. And I don't know if everyone... My camera died on me. But I think what you saw was me getting really heartfelt into the gist of pursuing your passion. I think you should take a gap year if you've been thinking about it. I think you should take a gap year if you want to start working, you want to pursue a passion, you want to make new memories, you want to explore a different country or city or town. Go for it. Just go for it. I also think you should take a gap year if you've got no idea what to do next. Don't feel the pressure of needing to do anything when you have the privilege of taking 12 months out to figure it out on your own terms. Finally, a gap year can be the best plan B. Just remember that.